Welcome back everyone to the channel. My name is Garrett. Today I'm bringing you a sort of review of Werewolf by Night. So this is my first Marvel Studios review in a really long time. I'm really scared to talk about Marvel Studios stuff. I don't know why. It's just like a lot of pressure to talk about something I really enjoy. And what if me thinking too much about it or, talking to a camera makes me dislike it more? But this is like a very safe thing to talk about. It's in the genre I love the most, and I have some thoughts about it. It's gonna be a little bit spoilery, so I would recommend you watching Werewolf by Night before watching this video, but in general, it isn't anything too spoiler crazy. Like, it's not gonna completely blow your mind about something about the MCU or Phase 4 at all. It's just as what they've marketed this as, a very special presentation. So Werewolf by Night follows a lycanthrope superhero who fights evil using the abilities given to him by a curse brought on by his bloodline. This is, I believe, Michael Giacchino's directorial debut. If you don't know him, he does the music for so many things, especially Marvel and Pixar wise. Like, I can move this right here, and boom, he did the Incredibles 2 music. He did the Incredibles music. He's done so many other Pixar movies music. Did he do the music for this movie? No, Danny Elfman did, so I'm wrong. The main Marvel Studios music you hear whenever their titles pop up now, that is Michael Giacchino. And he did a really good job with this. I was really impressed with his directorial stuff. He gets the vibe of those Universal monster films exactly. It was great. It's such a throwback idea to put this in 2022. You have the original Wolfman, which brings a lot of those cliche werewolf stuff into the modern era. We wouldn't really have werewolves the way we think of them if we didn't have the Wolfman. So it's nice that we have these homages in style and filmmaking choices to these Universal monster movies. Giacchino directs the action in this movie really well. I was really impressed about how much they kept into one shot. There wasn't so much cutting or shaky camera like the Russo brothers like to use in their MCU properties. Not really in the Infinity War saga stuff, but like Captain America 2 and 3, they do a lot of that shaky cam business. General thoughts I have about this: I love the shot of the camera focusing on Ilsa, and you have these sparks going off, so there's like random flashes of light, and behind her you see the shadow of Jack turning into a werewolf, and that shot was really well done. And the shot of Jack eating all of these henchmen was so good. I love that blood kept spattering onto the camera from what he was doing. I love that this movie is black and white. I know some people might not like it. We're in 2022, why are we making things black and white? But from a very technical aspect, making something black and white takes out the color of blood. It's not so red. Maturity ratings aren't going to be as high if you can't directly say, oh, that's blood. It's not red. And it made the bloodstone redness a cool contrast to everything else going around in this movie. And when the horror movie stopped and we get to this little bit in the end, Ilsa, we get to see what her colors of her costume were, the colors of the room. We cut to the outside, wherever Ted and Jack are now. And by the way, the costuming design and production design in this movie are incredible. I really like that stuff. It was really well done. Ted looks fucking amazing, both in black and white. And then I assume they had to make a different costume for when it became color, because you have to make certain colors look different in black and white. In WandaVision, when they were in black and white, they had to paint Paul Bettany's head a different color so that it would look how it would look if it was red, but in black and white, that color tone. My big complaint with Werewolf by Night is I wish it was 10 or 15 more minutes longer. They give this huge wide shot of the hunting grounds, and then there's 3 or 4 sets at the most they use for this place. And I felt like you could really draw this stuff out, make it scary, make it more suspenseful, maybe make some less important fights happen between certain characters so that there is a build up to them being defeated in the end. That would have been more fun. I think everyone does a great job in this movie. I don't have any complaints about the acting. I hope Ilsa shows up later in the MCU. I think that's the only real draw that you can make from this, connecting it to other stuff. Jack and werewolves, I don't think fit into the MCU as a whole. Maybe he'll come into Blade, but I think Ilsa could really work as the female lead in Blade. You know, she's used to monster hunting, whether or not you consider vampires a monster. I know in the original Blade, they consider themselves a different race, rather. A more evolved human in that sense. And so maybe she'll come back. I don't know. I think I would like her more than Jack. Jack is fun. I like his whimsical nature he has to him. He's more lighthearted than the tone of this movie. Is this as scary as Moon Knight Episode 4 or Multiverse of Madness? In some ways, yes. I think there's a better tone. Horror-wise, there's a more gothic sense to it. I don't know if Multiverse of Madness's horror is true horror. Like, there are kills in that movie, but nothing in these two projects is as suspenseful or thrilling as the mummy stuff in Episode 4 of Moon Knight. I did not know if that character would make it out alive of that. The sharpness of, like, the bone in the mummy and imagining it just, like, going into someone's head made me so scared. That was a really great sequence done in that episode of Moon Knight, and I don't think Werewolf by Night is as scary as that. Unfortunate, I know. That's why you could really make this 10 more minutes longer and add some more scary sequences to this movie. It is the most gory the MCU has ever been, and I really enjoyed the level of gore in it. The amount of blood and, like, the dude's hand getting cut off, and when Ted just, like, incinerates someone, that is fucking terrifying to see. I would love to see that in color. And that's really what I have to say about Werewolf by Night. I liked it a lot. It will be a yearly thing to watch whenever Halloween season comes around. I'm glad there's an MCU property that I can do that with now. Yes, you can do that with Multiverse of Madness, and I plan on to later this year, but it just doesn't hit that horror tone as well as Werewolf by Night does. So this will be the mainstay every October. So these have been my thoughts about Werewolf by Night. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more of my stuff, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye! Marvel Studios keeps replacing Rocket Raccoon in the opening title, and I'm annoyed. Stop taking away my boy.